Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 Shadowkeep for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of the Worthy Intel. And today, of course, is Friday, so we have gotten the Friday update. Xur has returned, and Trials has come back. I'm going to take you through all the information regarding this Friday update in just 1 second. But first, I just want to remind everybody, I'm still doing the giveaway on my YouTube channel at 20,000 subscribers. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway is like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell, right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box below. And as always, guys, if you stick around until the end of this video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, guys, the secret hashtag stack between all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Alright, so Xur can of course be found here this week in the Watcher's Grave on Nessus on the barge. Pretty easy to find. Just look for the big golden floaty thing. You can't miss it. Xur, if you don't know, maybe you're new to the game, brings new exotic armor and a random exotic and a random weapon every single week. And there has been announced by Bungie a change to Xur that will be coming next season that maybe if you are an active player will get you back to maybe visiting this guy on the reg. And that is he will be now carrying random roles in the next season. So something to keep an eye on. And yeah, of course, for this week, Xur is selling the hard light. So if you are really planning on getting into Trials, maybe you're just starting this week and you don't have a weapon to use, he is selling what was the best weapon. And of course, now that it's gotten a debuff, he is selling it very in line with the trolly nature of Xur. But still a good primary to use if you don't have one. It's fairly easy to pick up, obviously, because it's here today. So I would suggest buying it if you don't have it already. Great primary weapon. It's a 600 round per minute auto rifle, which is right in the sweet spot of all auto rifles, and it still does have the ricochet rounds. And even though the range on it got slightly reduced and the ricochet round damage, I believe, was also slightly reduced, it can definitely help call players out, maybe if they're hiding behind walls, and a little bit of extra damage when not in line of sight is never a bad thing. So definitely get it today if you don't have it. We have the GWISIN vest. I don't know if Xur's ever sold this one before. I don't remember ever seeing it. For the hunters, vanish after spectral blades kills for more super energy. All right, well, that's probably something to keep I don't know. This could be interesting in Trials, I suppose. So, you know, maybe pick that up. I don't think I have this, so maybe I should buy this today. I don't have enough space right now. I'll have to clear out something, but definitely something I might pick up. I don't think I have this. For the Titans, we have the HALLOWFIRE Heart. Solar abilities regen faster, even faster if super is charged. So, there has been a few little cheeses you can do with this in the past. Pretty good to think about if you don't have it. Interesting looking. Ooh. You gotta love the aesthetic of this one, guys. I actually kind of like it even with the invisible like spaceman behind it. That even looks cooler. Should be like a background. And for the Warlocks, my favorite class, we have the Apotheosis Veil. Ability energy on super cast, allies get class energy. There is a big glitch going on with this right now, guys. If you are having trouble with the NIGHTFALL, or maybe you're trying it for the Grand Master NIGHTFALL, or just trying to get a 100k score, in any case, the Apotheosis Veil has a interesting ability in that when you cast your super, you immediately regenerate health, melee, and grenade energy, and rift energy upon activating your super. Nearby allies recharge class abilities. So basically, you get your grenade, you get your melee, you get your health back when you cast a super while wearing this helmet. Now, there is an interesting glitch going on specifically in the Nightfall this week, but it can be used other places, and I've talked about it in the past. And if you are a warlock, this is sort of, well, it's not essential, but why not take advantage of it if you can? If you cast a super and you have some of the Warmind Cell mods or the Seraph Tower mods on, specifically the one that allows you to pick up your Warmind Cell. Usually you use this for throwing it, and it sticks to an enemy and causes more damage, more AoE damage. But I've also shown how in the past picking up a Warmind Cell is just great, because if you're still grinding for laurels and you're not a Titan, you can actually melee with the Warmind Cell after you've picked it up, and it'll drop a laurel. It'll count as a charged melee or a grenade or an ability kill. But if you do this in tandem with the Apotheosis Veil while you're casting a super and you pick up a Warmind Cell, what basically that does is it cancels out the super. So you have to cast and pick up sort of at the same time. You have to probably work on the timing, but it's not that bad. Cast a super first, then pick up the Warmind Cell. And essentially what that does is it cancels out the super, but you still get all your health, you still get your grenades and your melee and your rift all back. So this can essentially allow you to get infinite grenades. It's a good thing to just think about, you know. Maybe if you're doing the, like I said, if you're doing the Nightfall this week, there is a way where once the boss is on one of the two peaks, you can just throw solar grenades or void grenades, any sort of damage over time grenade that sort of sits in one spot will penetrate through the bottom of his tower and will just do damage to him. You don't even have to do the second phase or kill any more ads once you're through the first phase of ads. So, something to think about. Great, actually pretty decent, I would say, Xur inventory this week, I have to say. Not bad, Xur, even though you're selling this after everybody could have really used it. But yeah, this one, I could come back for you. I want to just put some stuff in my bank first. In other news, we do have, of course, Trials returning. And this week's Trials map is actually a new one. Go figure. We have Javelin 4, one of the original Destiny 2 vanilla PvP maps. Really big map, actually. Very different. All the Trials maps up until now, I think, unless I'm forgetting one, but I'm pretty sure, have been specifically new maps, not old maps. Ones that came out in this last expansion or season of the Worthy. Did they come out just this season? Maybe last season. But, you know, the Anomaly, I can't remember the other two, but specifically old D1 Trials maps. So this is the first, I think, truly D2 map that we're going to see in Trials, and it is much bigger because Trials, D2 maps tended to be a lot larger than D1 maps. It was just the way that the meta and the weapons were playing early on in the game. So, you know, that adds a little bit of variation in playstyle now with the new maps and the old ones. But this is going to, I think, cater to a more vanilla slotted meta. So I would say maybe check out the Mida multi-tool this weekend. If I was to just make a recommendation of a exotic to maybe bring out of the box that you haven't seen in a while. Because this is a fairly long map. There's a lot of lines of sight in it. And snipers are obviously going to be something you want to use. But if you're not good with a sniper, you're going to want something that's long range, accurate, and kind of staggers. And that's definitely one of the easiest, most forgiving, obviously, scout rifles, other than just getting a perfectly rolled legendary of all the exotic scout rifles, to which I think there's only 3, 4? Can't remember. It's Jade Rabbit, there's Mida Multi-Tool. You tell me in the comment section what the other ones are. But I always liked Mida, and early on when we were doing Trials of the Nine, it was definitely one of the best weapons to use. So, for this specific map, it might be worth taking another look at. Now, for just a daily roundup, since we're doing Xur and talking about Trials, let's head over to Thieves Landing. I always like to go and check out what the Spider is selling, because if you're like me, maybe you're a little low on the gear side of power. Maybe you're one of the artifact people. But if you are a little bit low in gear power, because Trials only relies on gear power as far as what you're bringing into the actual combat with you, you might want to buy a few extra upgrade modules just to maybe upgrade some of the PvP gear that you've had, and with, you know, maybe the PvE gear that you've farmed out over the previous week. So upgrade modules are going to be essential, and buying them revolves around the currency of planetary materials along with legendary shards. And some days, if they work out correctly, both the gunsmith and our buddy Spider here will be selling a fairly easy exchange of goods. Mainly a planetary material for a legendary shard is always the best option, Glimmer being the second best option, and the gunsmith hopefully selling the same upgrade module, or an upgrade module for the same planetary material. So today we have Dusklight shards being sold for Glimmer. We have simulation seeds being sold for Glimmer. Good farm to do with this, by the way, on believe it's I'll come back to that in a second. We have etheric spiral, excuse me, for legendary shards. Okay, good option. Maybe the gunsmith is selling that. And we have helium filaments being sold for legendary shards. So 2 planetary items being sold for legendary shards. That's a good thing. Doubles up our chances that one of them will be sold for upgrade modules will be sold for this at the gunsmith. This isn't always the case, guys, just so you know. There's not always 2 for Glimmer and 2 for legendary shards. Sometimes there's 3 and 1. I've even seen, I think, all being sold for Glimmer at one point. Might be lying about that, but there's usually 1, but it's not always the best. These 2, fairly common. Mercury. Okay. Just a quick little side tip on Mercury. There used to be a great farm. I still think it's a good farm for exotics. The best place to farm for exotics is usually just turning in a lot of materials at a planetary vendor, and you usually will get anything that's sort of available from that vendor. It's usually old exotics, but if you're farming out old exotics that were just available through random drops, it's a good way to do it. And the simulation seeds, because they're because on Mercury, when you get rewards back, regardless if it's a masterworked or just a regular weapon, you'll always get some shaders with it. The shaders there dismantle into legendary shards. So it's a fairly good farm. But I would, if you're going to do that, wait for them to be sold for legendary shards. But I'm going to pick up some of these right now. Stock up on them. Just check and see how many I actually have of those. I might have enough. Okay, I have 143 of those. And I have not too many alkaline dust. So let's get a few more of those. Oh, actually, hold on. Etheric spiral. How many of those did I have? Okay. All right. I'm pretty stocked up, guys. All right. Let's head over to the tower really quick. We'll see what the gunsmith's selling. Check out the bounties from Saint 14. And that should wrap up most of the stuff today. Like I said, I did want to talk about quickly, just usually I do sort of things that are going on in the community as far as exploits that are currently running or farms that you might want to check out. I have made videos about this week, but this is sort of a accumulation of all of those. The Mindbender's Ambition shotgun is up for grabs this week. Fairly easy farm. Several exploits you can use to get it a lot faster. That is available through, of course, the rotating triple Nightfall. And I did make a video about this, which will probably be referenced somewhere at the end of this video. But just to reiterate, because I did get a couple of questions about where to actually find the Nightfall, because a lot of people, I think, thought it was the Ordeal Nightfall, and I thought that would have been fairly self-evident that it wasn't. But It is available here, guys, in the Nightfall Strike playlist, and you get 3 options. You have to click on the name. It'll cue you for the very first option. I don't know why it does that, but you want to go to the hollowed layer option. And bring a 5 of swords with you with Solar Singe, maybe with Momentum on it. Should be a good option. If you have a Xenophage, bring that with you. It's a great thing to use. Bring a sniper rifle, bring a shotgun, and run as a Titan. That'll make things a lot easier. If you're not running as a Titan, use a Well of Radiance Warlock. Best and last hope. Bring the mods I mentioned. So, alright, let's see what the gunsmith is selling. Maybe we can buy some easy upgrade modules. Get our light up a little bit. We do. Okay, great farm today, guys, for upgrade modules. Get them while it's hot. He is selling them for Etheric Spiral. Thank God we bought a little bit, huh? Good thinking. We're on top of it. Pick those up. Let's head over to St. 14. Whew. Getting our workout in. I really wish they had just a teleport spot in the tower. It'd make things so much easier. But as far as just other things in the community goes, guys, we've already talked about the Apotheosis Veil glitch for the Nightfall. That's for any Nightfall from 970 up, or 750 I think is the lowest Nightfall you can actually do, up to the Grandmaster. Got a good farm in here with the modular upgrade modules. For the bounties this week, we have coordinated. Got to enunciate. Assault. As a fire team, defeat opponents with precision final blows in Trials of Osiris. Okay. We got Light from Light. Defeat opponents using your super and generate orbs in the Trials of Osiris. Okay. We got Illuminati. Woo, confirmed. As a fire team, defeat opponents using your super in Trials of Osiris. I feel like these two are pretty much the same thing. That could have been, that's a good name for such a lame bounty. We have Trials Triplet. As a fire team, defeat opponents using pulse rifles. Final blows in Trials of Osiris. Alright, maybe a good time to break out your bygones if you got one of those. Still good, by the way, even though people say it's... People, I think, want to turn their back on how good the meta of the bygones is. Just gonna say. Just saying. You think distance is your ally. That's an interesting title. As a fire team, defeat opponents using sniper rifle. Final blows in Trials of Osiris. I'm sure that'll be done rather quick. As a fire team, we had slow burn, excuse me. As a fire team, defeat opponents with solar weapon. Final blows in Trials of Osiris. Alright. And then, of course, we got the random bounties. You can pick up 2. I always suggest going with Passage of Mercy to get that free loss, but maybe you're a little bit more of a risk taker. If you want to gamble, Passage of Ferocity, not a bad option. I'm actually thinking of maybe giving this a try one of these times. I've never tried it, but who knows? I've gotten several times to about 5 wins, and I feel like if I got into 5, maybe if I had 6 already, maybe I would have gotten into a slightly different matchup with opponents. I don't really know how the matchmaking works in this, to be honest. I feel like playing against people who have been to the Lighthouse multiple times. I feel like it should just be, I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me in the comments section what you think of this, that if you've been to the Lighthouse, you only get matched with people who have already been to the Lighthouse that week. Not before that week. Not ever, just that week. Once you've gone, you're only going to be against the best of the best. If you're just on the struggle like I am, God, I want to go to the Lighthouse so bad. You should only get against, nubs. That's it, like me. But I think that's going to round up all the information for today, guys. Hopefully you have good luck on Javelin 4 this weekend. Remember to check out Zer, because he is actually selling some good stuff. Hopefully next season we'll get a little bit more variety with Xur, and maybe people will actually be going to him more regularly. He'll actually have some influence over the meta. He used to quite a bit in D1, and I miss those days. For the secret hashtag today, leave a hashtag Xur, leave a hashtag Trials of Osiris, or leave a hashtag Javelin 4, because we haven't seen that yet. Thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate all the new subscribers to the YouTube channel. As I said, we're almost to 20,000, which is absolutely insane. I love you all, really. Thank you so much for your support. It's kind of overwhelming and really unbelievable that we've gotten to this point. It's been a long ride, but we're finally here, and I see that there's still people who have been subscribed to me for years now, since I've originally posted, and I know who you guys are, and you know, I bow down to you. I bow down to you so much. I wish everybody could just come and play with me at any time. I don't really mention this too often, but there is a Discord channel. Feel free to join it. It's also linked in the description. Hit me up anytime if anybody's on PC and you want to play some games. I'm fairly open. No problem. Just pop in and say hi, and we'll be playing. Alright, once again, thank you all so much. I am Wilhelm Scream. We will see you in the next video. Little!